Hello everybody, welcome back to The Addiction. My name is Travis, and welcome to the first episode of the 370Z build. Enjoy. You can see that half of it is missing and bent and mangled. That used to be a fender. All the headlight assembly is gone, as well as it has crunched up some of the airbox stuff. Coming down a little lower, we have the crash support, and that is gone, munched, as well as the power steering cooler, radiator, and all the stuff that used to go there is all pretty much gone. Coming over to this side, the headlight is in good condition, which is great because these things are very expensive. We also have a couple missing things there, like broken tabs and stuff like that, but I think we can get those replaced and get this thing back to looking like it used to. Aside from the crash bit there, the previous owner did do some tasteful mods, such as some of these Adohan wheels. I've never heard of these before until I got this car, but I did a little research into them, and they actually make pretty decent looking wheels. I don't know the quality on them very well, but these wheels look pretty choice on this 370Z. Now coming over to the rear end of the car, we have a little ducktail spoiler, and actually I kind of like it. You can tell it's a cheap, on the cheap version there, it's just made out of that plastic stuff, and as you can see, it wasn't put on very well, but it does look very good. So I think I'm going to see if I can make that work and keep it. Now I'm really not a sticker guy, so all these stickers, they're going to be gone. So now obviously the hood is mangled and junk. We're not going to use this hood. However, I scoured Craigslist and I found a black hood, and I did this rendering in Need for Speed Heat, and it looks pretty good with a black hood, a black roof, all the way down to a black hatch. Now the first logical step in my eyes in repairing this 370Z is probably going to be to tear down this front core support here, along with all the crash supports and etc., and kind of see how bad the frame damage is, and then we can go and order frame rails and maybe some ledges and stuff like that. Okay, well, it's a new day. Where we left off is we were going to take off this little black piece right here, and that entails taking off the hood. When taking off your 370Z hood, you want to make sure that you have this clip and this hose right here all disconnected. Mine's broken, unfortunately, but that hose does connect all the way down to the washer fluid reservoir. So at this point in our project, we're going to want to check the air conditioning unit. Now, a lot of times in a really severe crash, these things will just vent to atmosphere. But in this particular case, I don't think it has. And so we're just going to double check that real quick. You just need a screwdriver. And right here on the 370Z, right next to the throttle body, right there is that little valve. You just stick a little something in there, and you can see that's a pressurized system. So we're going to want to get that depressurized by like a mechanic shop or somebody that recycles that refrigerant. So we'll go ahead and do that now before we get anything more taken off and kind of put ourselves in a bad spot. Okay, next thing we're going to do, now that we have the hood off, is we're going to take off that center piece right here for the support. And as you can see, this just unclips, as so, and this also just pops up. Next, after the back cover is off, you take off these two bolts right there, which kind of concerns me because somebody's already been back here on that one. There's supposed to be 3 bolts there and 3 bolts there. So in this particular car, that particular bolt is being very stubborn. It's hard to get out, and I think it has to do with the fact that this bar right here is bent, and it's bent pretty good. I would say probably at the very most probably an inch. So we're under the car here. This is the front subframe here, and those are one of those unexpected things you don't find with an auction car. I mean, you're never going to find this until you jack it up and get under it. So there's that. So we need a new subframe, and really a new sway bar. Other than that, the suspension looks pretty good. I'm going to take off this cover, and as you can see, most of these little pop-up pins, pop rivets, are already gone, so that'll make my job a little easier at the beginning, but I'm going to have to replace those later. In the meantime, all the remaining pins I'm going to put into a bag and tag method, so just a Sharpie in the bag and what they are and where they go. So I've gotten all the pop rivets out for the first part, and they are bagged and tagged, and this little piece just comes off like so. The next step is to work on this crash support here. Now this is a unique situation I'm dealing with. Right here is what it's supposed to look like. You can easily get to all 4 bolts. However, this side's been smashed inwards, and believe it or not, this aluminum is pretty tough. Now I'm not one to condone violence, but sometimes it is necessary. Well, if all is fair in love and war, then we did our job. There's the wreckage. Now, we can finally get to our 4 bolts on both sides. And we'll see how bad it is behind that. Here it is sometime later, and we've got the AC system evacuated, and we are ready to move on, but the sun is setting and it's getting cold, so next time. And thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. There is so much more to come. If you want to see it, hit the subscribe button down below, and if you like this video, tap that like button. It means a lot. I appreciate it. Thank you.